Teimour, thanks for joining. Right round, some first time control, the position was critical. Did you have any understanding of how black should have proceeded?
No, I've seen that it's very complicated for me because I'm always kind of having my king in the mating net, whatever you call it, with all this queen a8, h1 checks and mates. So yeah, it was pretty unpleasant, and I was of course upset that I've just created problems on my own. Just why pushing before, let's say, for example, was completely unnecessary. If you want to stand the way I stand it on the, like, just bishop a1, I don't know, something, just stay on the place like rook e1. Yeah, and after after he played all these rook c4, h5, knight is on g4, all the time jumping, all the time tricks, like knight e3 checks, everything is in the air, so it's hard to play. And yeah, at the end I was just happy that I found this kind of probably practical sequence of king h3 and e5, which I guess made me save the game. I didn't have too much time there, but certainly it was enough to make the moves, but it was very unpleasant, yeah, very unpleasant.
And Ding made a mistake by move 40 playing g6, and that was the first time you could think, and yet you answered pretty fast. Was it already clear for you that all was safe?
No, it wasn't safe for me, certainly, but after g6 I just didn't see, I mean, what else can I do? I mean, I don't have too many pieces that can move, so certainly if I stand passive, king g... I was not sure still, of course, about the position. I mean, probably it's winning for black. There are a lot of checks and mating ideas, as I mentioned. But I just didn't say anything for white except playing knight g5 in general after each move. More or less any move of black except, I don't know, maybe queen a8 would make me play knight g5. So I just played knight g5. And I still was very upset. I didn't know, of course, the evaluation of the position. But at least, you know, with this knight g5, the first line I've calculated was this taking on d4 and trying to mate me with queen a8 h1. And my first intention, of course, there was to play bishop g1. And it's very beautiful, but probably queen h1 and rook comes to c8, and then I can't move with my queen, and again all this kind of zugzwangs that is probably winning for black. Yeah, but then of course I saw that queen f3 is possible, and yeah, probably it's still advantageous for black, but I mean, okay, there are already some tricks. Knight is coming to g5 again back, and you know, taking the e6 pawn. At least there is some play, but certainly I was very upset and saw that my position is very close to be losing at some point.
Right, and perhaps moving on, what were your first thoughts that you got the wild card, the offer to play in the candidates?
Well, it's called wild card, but it was like kind of mess from the first candidates that I didn't play the one in Yekaterinburg. And it was a COVID mess with FIDE, so wild card it's called, but certainly I think it was just the right decision by General Assembly and the FIDE to give me the right to play, because I was right in that situation, in my opinion, and yeah, just fine. I don't see a problem. I had to play in Yekaterinburg before, but if everything would be fine and there would be no COVID, but this time, okay, I'm playing in Spain, I'm happy.
So it didn't take you too long to accept the invitation?
Well, once again, I mean, it's like you can't call it an invitation, in my opinion, and I think that it's just a fair decision by General Assembly. So I just felt that, I mean, there are two ways, yeah, either this or we have to go to and, you know, start all these law processes with FIDE and so on. Of course, both sides didn't want it. But in general, I'm happy that General Assembly granted me this place, but I mean, I just think it's a fair decision. I don't feel like it was like special kind of invitation that I've received. Like, yeah, so.
Perhaps one more question for today. Did you schedule Norway chess in order to have some practice before the candidates?
Yeah, because I think I haven't played for a long time. Also, a COVID situation made us not play too many over-the-board tournaments. And the thing that you're playing online is very different. Also, the time control is very different. The board itself is just completely different feeling. So yeah, I've scheduled Norway to play, you know, some over-the-board games, because it's a very different feeling with the crowd and all that stuff, you know. And it's like, yeah, it's I would say more emotional, and you know, it takes a lot of also stress to come back to the normal game.
But wouldn't you have preferred, let's say, such a practice having had, let's say, 1 or 2 months before the 1 month before the tournament?
Well, I was invited to Norway, so I decided that it's fine. I'll just go, you know, practically kind of ready to play chess. and whatever happens. But in general, of course, it was just a part of my preparation that I saw that, I mean, before the tournament, it's better to, you know, to start playing and play until
The end.
forever, I would say, yeah.
Thank you so much, Teimour.
Thank you.